Mage boosting is dead. Okay, let's watch this one first. This is some news with TBC anniversary. I don't really know. I haven't watched this video yet, but just based on the title, Mage boosting is dead. It sounds like Blizzard wants to make it so people can't level alts by paying mages to AoE grind them or something. So let's listen to see what's going on here.
Mage boosting has been nerfed for the Burning Crusade anniversary, and today I want to talk about how it has been nerfed, how this might impact you, and just showcase some video clips of the nerf as well based on the TBC PTR. It might be time for you to start leveling a Paladin just like I'm doing right here, because Paladin boosting looks like it might still be possible to a certain degree, but even Paladin boosting as well has probably been affected by a little bit. So your boosting strategies in Stratholm, for example, they might be affected by this as well. Either way, let's get into it. So first off, let's take a look at this clip right here, which is also from the PTR at the moment. And as you can see here, the mobs can currently be slowed, but you will see after the second cast of Blizzard, they will no longer be slowable. And then they will start moving at, well, they will just start moving at regular speed, but also they will speed up over time. And if you use a certain evade spot, the mobs might teleport to you. So basically, you can no longer infinitely slow down the mobs and use mage boosting or mage farming in that way, which will not only impact your boosting, by the way, but if you had any solo farming like strategies as well for solo farming slave pens, that will be very different. So the first clip was a video by Lederan here on YouTube, and the second clip here is going to be by Sabibus. Hopefully I said their names correctly. Either way, there will be links down below in the video description. Here I want to show you guys what a slave pen's run looks like on the PTR at the moment.
Okay.
Well, I want to show you guys, but it's his video, so once again we are just going to go through this clip, and I don't think everybody cares about the pulley here, so we're going to go and skip through towards the middle here, where you actually enter the actual boosting place, right? Just to show you guys that as well, so you know everything about the pool.
I mean, this is how I leveled in TBC, was slave pens AoE grinding, right? Like this is classic, right?
How that works, because getting here is going to be not any different really. You can see once again the mobs are slowable at the moment, but the slow effect will go away over time. So for now, they are slowable, but in a second they will no longer be slowable. However, for this part of the pool, that doesn't really matter too much. Well, it kinda does, but as you can see here, he's trying to slow down these last bug structs to be able to, like, well, slow them down and start the pull, and they simply cannot be slowed. This right here will really impact your ability to, for example, group up the mobs, even though there will be some possibilities to maybe do so, but also damage them down.
They just don't get slowed.
They will not be able to be slowed. They will eventually start speeding up as well to move faster towards you, and it's just going to make boosting not work, right? Even farming as a mage is no longer going to work, and as he's going to show you, if you go to the evade spot, the mobs will teleport to you, and you're dead. So if you go to any evade spot to reset or anything, it's over. It is a game over, as you're about to see. Like literally,
what?
Like the second he went to the evade spot, the mobs, they just teleported to him, and it's game over. For the slow effect as well, usually for the first 20 seconds of the pull, you can slow the mobs normally, but after 20 seconds, they will no longer be slowable. Now,
oh my gosh, there is so much to talk about. Oh my gosh. Guys, can we just get a quick W or L in the chat? Just a quick W or L in the chat. I'm going to try this. I think it's good for the health of the game on the macro scale. Like mage boosting, mage farmers, like bought a lot of like gold sellers, mage boosting. It kind of siphons life out of the game. But on the other hand, I'm a mage main, obviously, and this is like so fundamental to what makes Classic, what makes TBC is mage AoE grinding. I did it back in 2006. I did it again in 2019. I did it again in 2021. To not be able to do it, it just feels like it's like infringing upon the game. Like it just feels weird. I don't know. I'm so torn on this one. Like I said first, I think that it is healthy for the overall game, for like other players, especially non-mage players, and having people level out in the world and having the world feel alive and having a better economy. So it makes sense, but it's like, it's still, I think as a mage who's AoE grinded since 2005 or whatever, it's like, wait, what? You know, like, it's just like, oh, like, I don't know how to feel, man.
Seconds, they will no longer be slowable. Now, these nerfs right here, this is not the first time Blizzard does this, and nobody should really be surprised about this, but I guess we can be surprised about them nerfing it right now at the beginning of TBC, because the last time Blizzard nerfed these, which was in TBC as well, was at the end of TBC. You can see this right here is a post on Wowhead from 2022. In July. This is basically 2 months before Wrath of the Lich King Classic came out, so literally the end of the Burning Crusade. New anti-boosting mechanics from enemies inside dungeons on the Burning Crusade Classic. So new anti-boosting mechanics, these are basically everything that Blizzard has in place right now as well, so let's go through those. Enemies inside Stratholme are using knockdown stunning paladins. This stun is working through Divine Shield and free action potion. Enemies are teleporting to mages inside Shadow Labyrinth after being slowed and rooted a certain number of times. Enemies inside Maraudon become immune to all slow and root effects after a certain amount of time, similar to how it functions on Season of Mastery realms. Many dungeons have mechanics to stop mages and paladins from boosting. More examples are coming in, using ledges and the walls to kite and to reset mobs. We'll also have them...
Someone brought up a good point. So we're going to do TBC Hardcore Community Edition next year. And if mobs teleport to you, if you jump up on a reset spot, that's going to be crazy for TBC Hardcore. Like you're like running out, you know, tank dies, whatever. You jump up on a ledge, the mobs port to you and die and kill you.
Teleporting to you with some images showing you exactly how this works as well. So here's a blue post. Let me just read the blue post. One of the most common pieces of feedback we have received and observed ourselves in our adventures is the concern about pervasive sales of dungeon boosting services in the game. It often overpowers chat with advertisements and makes certain channels hard to use for their intended purpose. It's also no secret that the gold from many boost groups is used for illicit activities such as RMT, real money trading, as much of the gold that players pay to boosters is then sold for real money back to players. That's kind of crazy, by the way. Now that we have seen the final major content release of Burning Crusade Classic, we will soon adjust the behavior of creatures in most dungeons, including the new dungeons coming in Wrath Classic as well, to make it significantly more difficult to endlessly snare and kite enemies. This next one is important, by the way. Additionally, we will implement a reduction to group experience earned when there is a large disparity between player levels in the same group. Okay, that's basically everything you need to know. Everything else here doesn't really matter too much, but yeah. Changes have happened to mage boosting on TBC, and like this post right here, as they say here as well, this was in the last final major content release of Burning Crusade Classic. However, this time around we have it from the start. And I think it's fair to say people are not super happy about it. It literally affects everybody who's in the boosting business right now. People that are leveling mages, people that are...
Wait. Is it fair to say most people aren't happy about it? I feel like more people... Well, you know what? Let's do a poll real quick. /poll. Mage boosting removed. I guess I should say nerfed, not removed. And then I'm just going to just put like a W or an L on the poll. This is only on Twitch, but I could do it YouTube as well. So start poll here on Twitch. Kai is very upset, I think, about the mage changes, the mage boosting changes. So mage boosting nerf, WL. Okay, I put it on YouTube as well. Yeah, okay, so that's what I thought. Like, it seems like most people are happy. Besides the mages. The mages are probably 19% that make up the L. So Kai is a mage player. He's crying about it. Unless he's cheering. I think he's crying. I don't know, man. Like I said, I think it's good for the game on the macro, but it feels like really bad as a mage player who did this all along back in 2006, 2005. back in original TBC launch, back in original Wrath launch, back in re-TBC launch, back in 2019 Classic, back in Wrath. I've AoE grinded from the whole time. You can still AoE grind out in the world. This is in dungeons, but still, maybe it's fine. Maybe I'm a salty mage. Oh god, maybe I'm the salty mage. I'm the salty mage.
Shadow Labs boosting, Slave Pens boosting, Paladin boosting, or even solo farming for themselves inside dungeons, they are currently not happy. There is also once again a...
You know what it feels like is it's like removing a bit of the class fantasy of being a mage. Like mages have always had this as like their thing. You know, it's not like the mages don't have other things. Mages are really good, let's be honest. But like, it just feels like a part of the fantasy is removed. It's like, oh, that's like part of what a mage is, and everyone else hates it, and that's the point. Like, that's what mages do, right? Like, I think that's what's hurting me a little bit.
Back mechanic for paladins to worry about as well in Stratholm, right? As we just saw in the post, the knockback mechanic, the knockdown mechanic, I mean, for paladins, stunning them for 2 seconds. It is worth noting that even in TBC, there was a workaround for this, so paladins will still be fine. But it does add some, like, hurdles that you have to jump through in order to be able to farm and to boost.
Like, okay, so here's another question. This is maybe a better question. Is there a better way they could have nerfed it? So, for example, if you're boosting someone who's lower level than you, they just get, like, 0 XP. Like, it just doesn't work. So you cut out mage boosting, period. But you don't make it so that mages can't solo it themselves to do it themselves. And then you might say, well, what about gold? What if they nerfed the gold drops? You couldn't farm it for gold, you couldn't boost other players, but you could do it yourself because it's part of the fantasy. That sounds better, yes? I mean, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. But what I'm saying is, like, you could fix the issue without ruining the fantasy. Yes, that would be a better way. Because, like, what I'm saying is, like, I understand the implications of what you're trying to do. It's actually probably a W in the macro, but, like, hurting the fantasy kind of sucks. Is there a way that you can have your cake and eat it too here? Let mages do their AoE farming, but only to help themselves, not to ruin the economy and not to boost other players. But if they want to do it themselves, it's not affecting anyone else, but it's part of the fantasy. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Thing is basically dead from this alone, and you might be wondering, why would Blizzard do this? And in my opinion, it makes complete sense. Let's talk about a certain blue post that was found, like some data mining found on Wowhead, and a blue post by Blizzard themselves. So this right here, we already know that a level 58 boost is coming on anniversary from the pack itself, right? You can see right here, level 58 boost, and scrolling down here, the level 58 boost cannot be used on Draenei or Blood Elf race characters. That being said, before the announcement of this came out, Wowhead also data mined. In addition to these bundles, it also appears that players will be able to purchase separate character boosts as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
These might not be here at the beginning of TBC or in the pre-patch. Actually, I'm gonna say this. These might not be here in the pre-patch, but when the TBC comes out...
So, tinfoil hat... Blizzard's making it so you can't buy boosts from other players, so you could buy boosts from Blizzard. Okay.
I am fully expecting this to be here. So Blizzard is nerfing mage boosting and paladin boosting to make leveling a worse experience and take more time, so they can sell more boosts. It's a business. The move itself is like basically inspired by business. Nerf leveling, make leveling harder, take more time, sell more boosts. So yeah, I'm not gonna drag this out too much, by the way, but I just wanted to mention that this is obviously a scheme by Blizzard to be able to make more money themselves. They will eventually probably start, I'm gonna say probably because we don't know.
Do you guys think the character boosts are only 1 per account like it was in 2021? Or do you think they're gonna make it so you could just buy as many as you want? If it's 1 per account, then that wouldn't make any sense that it's purely... for a monetization reason. If it's as many as you want, then it kind of does make sense. Last TBC was only 1 per account, by the way. So it would be different if they made it unlimited. So we'll see. I have another question for you guys on a poll. Is there a better way? This is more of an open-ended question. Is there a better way Blizz could have nerfed mage boosting? Yes, no, this works no, this is BIS, right? Like, in other words, could they have done something like low level players get 0 XP? You know, if you do a big enough AoE pull that takes long enough time, you can't loot the mobs, so you can't make gold and ruin the economy. Like, those kind of ideas. Like, are those things that you would prefer, or do you like this? That basically the mobs can't be slowed? Because I think this is probably a better question, right? This is probably a better question, because it's like, clearly it is a problem, but there's multiple ways to solve problems. And is this the best way? It's like, would you rather have this or nothing? Well, probably this, but is this the best decision? Right. Anyway, cool video. I mean, I didn't know any of this was happening. I think there are going to be pros to it. I will be honest, guys. I'm the salty mage, just because I've done a lot of this in the past, and it's really fun. You know, it's part of what being a mage is. So it's like, I'm trying to start to brainstorm how can you keep that but not ruin player boosting and the economy, right?
For sure, but I mean, it just makes too much sense. We already have data mined the image for it. It appears that people will be able to buy separate character boosts as well outside of just the pack itself. Probably coming either with TBC launch or phase 2 of TBC or sometime in TBC, to be able to buy a level 58 boost and get right into Outland. And it makes sense. Nerf leveling, make leveling more unfun, take more time, sell more...
Okay, so I need to pause. A lot of people, I think... Okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding, or you guys are misunderstanding, but what I mean by class fantasy is like, a rogue can do things that a mage can't do by stealthing in and like soloing a boss, or like a druid stealthing into Shadowfang Keep and killing and soloing Leggings of the Fang. Mages can't do that. Druids can. That's what makes the game good. Not every class needs to be equalized. That's what makes the game bad. If you try to make every class equalized, then it sucks, because then every class is homogenized. I'm saying that word wrong right now. Homogenized. Then that sucks, and it turns into retail where every class has AoE, mobility, damage, single target, blah blah, like, right? So it's like, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, mages should be able to do things that every other class can't do, and every other class should be able to do things mages can't do. It goes both ways, right? Anyway, I think once you start with the mindset of every class has to have all of this, it's like, it's a bad road, right? I don't think I agree with the philosophy. Totally correct. W, rares are L, 100% agree. W take. So you guys are pretty split on this, right? You guys, it seems like you guys are pretty split on this. Let me think. For the people that are disagreeing, you know, why do you disagree, right? Like, what do you think that every class should be able to AoE grind, or do you think none of them should be able to? Or like, I'm trying to understand the perspective. I totally agree, pull it. I mean, for the people that agree with me, I understand your perspective. So you're saying no. You think no classes should be able to AoE grind. None. So everyone's saying none. AoE grinding is bad. No classes should be able to do it. I guess the next question would be why? If some classes can stealth, and you know, some classes can bubble, and some classes can tank, I don't see the issue with some classes being able to AoE grind. Like, even classic paladins can AoE grind, and that's cool. It's just jealousy. So I've made the claim in the past that jealousy between classes is healthy. And what I mean by that is, when you play like a warrior, you should be like, I'm doing stuff that no one else can do because I'm a warrior. And when you're playing a rogue, you should feel like, I am a rogue and I'm doing stuff that no one else could do. I can lockpick, I can stealth in and solo this boss and vanish out, right? Like, I'm a rogue. Like, every class should have something that someone else is jealous of. That's what makes good game design. Okay, so you guys agree with that? Yeah. So I don't see the issue, like paladins being able to AoE grind, or mages being able to AoE grind, and other people being jealous. I think that makes the game good. Why? Because then that person might then roll a mage. Or the mage goes like, oh crap, I get one shot. If I tank these, I want to be a tank instead. So they reroll into the prop pally or whatever. Like, I think that's good. I don't know. Anyway, I do agree that in the macro, it's problematic. So I think there should be a solution. I don't know if this is the best one, but it is a solution. And I will say that doing something is probably better than doing nothing, but maybe there's an even better solution to be thought of. I think that's kind of like, yeah. And I do think the overall concept of like every class needs to be homogenized. I think I just disagree with that. And I think I also disagree with you guys on like no classes should be able to AoE grind. Like, I just don't get that take. Like, I really like unique classes that each class can do their own unique thing. And if you aren't that class, then you can't do it. I think we have learned our lesson, like with the direction of retail, with every class having AoE, or every class having mobility, or every class having defensive heals, or like it's, you know, it just goes down the wrong road. It really, like, in my opinion, right? I like class identity. I really do. I really do. And I will end with, I want to recognize that I am a salty mage player. Okay.
Boosts make more money. It makes complete sense. I'm not going to talk about how I feel about this because that's going to piss people off no matter where I am. Like if I'm for this, people will hate me. If I'm against it, people will hate me because like there's people on both sides. There's people that love mage boosting, think it's a super important part of the game, and then there's people who don't like mage boosting, don't like the RMT aspect, and want to see people in the open world. Either way, I want to ask, how do you guys feel about this? Let me know in the comments down below. I just wanted to mention that mage boosting right now, based on the PTR, seems to be completely dead, and paladin boosting seems to be very nerfed but still somewhat doable, so paladins unite, I guess. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comments, leave a like if you enjoyed the video.
One of the things that's interesting about game design is when you're a game dev and you nerf what players have found to do, what do players then do? They find the next best thing. So it just becomes pally boosting. And then if you nerf that, then players will find the next best thing, and then the next one. And like it, right? It continues to evolve. That's, and then what do players call that? Like, when Blizzard takes away the fun, it's like we can't have fun. It's like whenever you find something else, then it just gets nerfed. Anyway, it'll probably be pally boosting then. Fun detected. That's what it is. Fun detected. That's what I was thinking of. It's like, okay, fun detected. Mage boosting gone. All right, fun detected. Okay, pally, like, and then at some point, I was watching a video on this like a year ago, and at some point as a dev, I think the devs have learned to just be like, okay, let's just kind of let the players have fun here, right? Good video. It's like I said, you know, I think it's a good thing to talk about and think about. I think some changes are better than none. So I think this is better than doing nothing, but I think there might be an even better solution than this. What do the comments say? Let's take a look. Blizzard will do anything except ban pods. Okay. Make leveling a less enjoyable experience. Oh yeah, AFKing inside dungeons, having a mage do it all for you, great leveling experience. Yeah, I think this is fair. Like, I think for people, I think the idea of boosting other players and nerfing that aspect of it, like, I think that's like a fair criticism. I really do. My larger criticism is not this. My larger criticism is like is each class having their class fantasy. So like like I said when I was brainstorming, it would be like nerf this, make it so they get 0 XP, and maybe even nerf the gold making, but make it so you could still level if that's how you want to do it, because that's how mages have done it historically, because it's part of the game, right? So anyway, I do agree with that. I think that's fair. It's our game. You will play it the way we want you to. Right. So that's the criticism on the other end, which is like fun detected. Oh, fun detected. Let's nerf that. I think, what's the philosophy? Like you're free to swing your arm until you hit someone else's face. Right. So that was the mindset. That philosophy was the mindset behind the changes that I brainstormed, was you can level yourself in a dungeon as long as you're not ruining the economy and ruining other people's leveling experiences and you know, hurting the outside world because everyone's AFK in a dungeon. So you can level yourself, but you can't ruin the game for other people. You can swing your arm, but you can't hit someone else's face. So I think that would probably be my preferred change. Right. It's not, if it's really about RMT and boosting, then why not add some logic that says if mobs are created anyone in the party, then no one gets the experience, and leave it there. All the other changes have side effects. For example, breaking Blizzard, stunning pallies. Are these changes really aimed at RMT and boosters? Or are they aimed at anyone who wants to farm gold? So like I generally agree with this as well, right? Like if there's gray mobs to anyone in the party, no one gets experience. That's a great, that would be great, right? Or even, you could even make it more drastic than that if you want. And then even for gold farming, right? Even if you wanted to nerf gold farming, my big point is if you want to level yourself that way and it doesn't hurt anyone else and it's been part of the game, what about for the mages to want to solo farm dungeons for gold and not boost? As a mage, soloing dungeons is one of the most fun things to do, and now that's taken away. Once again, that's exactly right. And not even to farm gold, but literally just to level yourself. I mean, that's how I leveled the last 2 times. Like, it's fun. It's really fun. It's part of the experience. So yeah, I think this comment has a lot of merit. Like, nerf it without ruining it for the mage, but you can nerf it for boosting. Yeah, that makes sense. Remove boost and remove solo dungeon. Remove boost and remove solo dungeon farm for gold, then sell boost and token. Right. Solo pulling a dungeon by yourself for gold is perfectly fine, rewarding, and fun, but they remove that trying to remove boosting. Absolute incompetence from a multi-billion-dollar software company. So once again, I think this is like a somewhat of a fair take. Like, you can nerf it without nerfing Mage's capability of doing it. You can nerf it by making it so you can't boost. I think these are fair takes, right? This will just make people buy gold who would rather farm dungeons, mega server limited nodes. So lame. They tried the same in SOD, which made it making boosting easier because people just rerolled to Hunter. Okay, so this is what happened in SOD. Hunters AoE grinded instead of mages. And that was kind of the point of fun detected, nerf it, and then someone else comes up with new fun detected, and that's nerf too. Like, people will find a new way to do it. Hunter explosive trap instead, for example, is what happened in SOD. So it's like, yeah, you nerf it, but then something else is going to come up, right? So people playing the game, having fun and farming gold in a legit way are getting punished because they can't punish gold buyers and bots. Yeah, so, I mean, I can see why people are upset, for sure. But I think at the same time, like I said, it's better to do something than nothing, but I think there's probably a better solution here.